Well, everybody, this is certainly something. I honestly didn't know this court case was still going down. I thought the charges had been dropped or dismissed or something, because it just kind of... This story, I haven't heard about it since maybe last year, maybe a couple... by last year, I mean actually 2022. I'm still thinking like it's 2023. But the E. Jean Carroll case is still very much alive, it turns out. And apparently Trump appeared in court today like 4 hours ago because of it. This is still very fresh news, like hot off of the presses. I'm covering breaking news for once. And here I have like this ABC News like YouTube playlist that they've been actively updating with any new coverage they've done with like clips. I don't know if ABC News is like super copyright happy or not. Let me know. But I mean, I don't think I've had problems with them before. If I do, if the stream gets cut out, just know it's like a brief copyright like shutdown. And as long as I stop playing the video, which I will right away, after about like 3 minutes, the stream will come back on its own. So just like stick around if it happens. I will be back, but I don't think it'll be a problem. Maybe if it does happen, I'll push through and just do the segment anyway. Because like, you know, this is like the main... Actually, wait, no, this is just a full playlist of coverage from like different sources. This isn't even all ABC News. Okay, dope. This is neat. YouTube is like auto-making playlists to keep you updated on a story. That's actually really interesting. I guess the feature is cool. Let's check it out.
From the campaign trail to a Manhattan trial, the jury...
Oh! Hypers in chat, if you somehow don't know the details of this case, by the way. I believe Trump was accused by E. Jean Carroll of having, like, ambushed her, and it was, like, some kind of department store, and having, like, raped her, right? You don't know, Night Moth? Okay, so some people here don't know. But yeah, it's a full-on accusation of sexual assault or rape, like, in public. So we're gonna see how that goes. A woman's dressing room? Ah, in a department store. Thank you. Well, pretty close. I have approximate knowledge of many things, Frank the Human.
Has been seated in that trial to determine how much money in damages former President Donald Trump must pay E. Jean Carroll for his 2019 defamatory statements about Carroll's sexual assault allegations. Former president was already found liable last year for sexually assaulting Carroll in a department store dressing room in the 90s and for defaming her in 2022 with public statements disparaging her and denying the allegations. Well, Carroll is seeking more than $10 million in damages and is expected to testify in the trial as well. Our legal contributor and defense attorney Brian Buckmeyer joining me for more. So, Brian, let's just kind of break down how jurors were chosen today and what they will undergo.
The thing about cases that involve a jury when it comes to Trump is, how the fuck do you find jurors that don't know who Trump is? Because, like, isn't part of having a jury, like, that they don't know you or have any knowledge of the case prior? How do you do that when it's the last president from 4 years ago? How? Like, realistically, half of them are Trump supporters and the other half hate him, you know? Like, at least. There's no way to ensure an unbiased jury here, I feel. How do you get an unbiased jury with a case like this? How is that even possible?
Go during the trial.
Well, Kira, it was interesting. The judge had already told us that he was just going to look at the crowd of jurors and go through it individually, looking to see if anyone knows information about the case, whether or not that information would make them...
They all have to. How do you... They're going to pretend they don't if they want to either A, fuck over Trump, or B, help Trump get off. And trust me, his supporters really want to help him get off.
Bias one way or another. What are their connections to this case, if at all? And it seemed like there were a number of people that said, hey, I've learned too much about this case in the media. I cannot be unbiased. We know that two people themselves said, you know what? I think that Donald Trump is getting a bad rap. I don't think he's being treated fairly in this process. But from the morning till about, I would say, like 1 o'clock or like 2 o'clock this afternoon, we ultimately got 9 jurors, no alternates, who will hear this projected 2 to 3 day trial. And and they're going to decide not on the liability of Donald Trump, because as you said, that's already been decided. This is just about damages.
Yeah, but even still, like, someone who supports Trump is going to, like, vie among the jury for lesser damages to be paid on his part, while someone who hates him is going to vie for the highest of high possible damages to be charged possible. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's guilty or not guilty. If they're determining how much Trump has to pay, their bias is still going to play a very big part in the outcome of this case. And there's no way they're not biased. Like, when it comes to, like, a big, high-profile case, I can understand maybe some people didn't hear about it and you can get completely unbiased jurors. But we're talking the fucking last president, okay? The last president. The most aired on television and every other source of media there is president of all time. Newspapers, radio, TV, internet, Twitter, everything. Fucking, like, I'm pretty sure... Dude, road signs, fucking, like, planes carrying... flags behind them going over beaches in Florida with Trump on them, okay? It's not possible to be an unbiased juror here. There's just no way.
So when you look at the trial that Trump just went through and the trial that he is now in, what stands out for you, to you? Similarities, differences, impact? I mean, it really is hard to keep up. It seems like he's in a different courtroom every other week.
You and me both, ma'am.
Yeah, so in terms of different trials, as we know, he's got federal and state criminal cases. He's also got civil cases. He's got 2 civil cases here in New York. The major difference here with E. Jean Carroll, it is ultimately about the words that came out of his own mouth following E. Jean Carroll's article and op-ed that came out, and then subsequent statements to that, calling her a hoax, a con artist. As you said, we've already found that he is liable here based on a previous civil case with E. Jean Carroll. Here, ultimately, it's about dollars. In the first case, he was found liable for $5 million. He's still appealing that case. In this one, they're seeking $10 million. The main difference, I would say, is this is more focused on the words that he used to discredit E. Jean Carroll. The prior case was more about the sexual abuse, trying to prove that, as well as defamation.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll follow the case, of course.
Hi, everyone. George.
Oh. Okay, we paused it. We didn't accidentally click this video. Nice. A rare YouTube W. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So apparently this is a brand new case where it's E. Jean Carroll trying to collect damages off of Trump. Kind of reminds me of the Alex Jones defamation case with the Sandy Hook families.
Pressure.
E. Jean Carroll's legal team. Donald Trump has all but destroyed her life, is this one. Okay, this is a clip from MSNBC. This is apparently a statement from E. Jean Carroll's legal team.
Office caucus win. Trump flew to New York to appear in court in the second E. Jean Carroll defamation case, where his lawyer said she will call the former president up as a witness.
Yeah, he's already been
over
found
in Washington
guilty.
State. A challenge to Trump's eligibility to be on the ballot there over questions of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment.
Oh, shit. They're trying to remove Trump off the ballot here in my home state. Well, not my home state, technically, but the state I live in, Washington. God damn. Yeah, okay, so apparently they're trying to remove Trump from the ballot here in Washington, too. It is crazy how many, like, to be fair, it's mostly progressive states that are doing it. Like, obviously no Republican states are going to successfully remove Trump from the ballot, but, like, so it won't make the biggest of deals, but, like, the fact that you can't even vote for Trump in some of these states besides writing him in will just be really funny, you know? If any of these stick, right?
Will likely go before a judge later this week. That means there are now 14th Amendment challenges in more than a dozen states across the country, all of which hinge on a decision by the Supreme Court, which did agree to hear the case out of Colorado. Oral arguments in that case will start on February the 8th. The Supreme Court also likely to weigh in on the question of presidential immunity, a defense that Trump is trying to use to dismiss the federal election interference case against him, and There's still the classified documents case, the Georgia racketeering case, the New York hush money cases, which the ex-president will contend in the coming months. All of this bears repeating, because a man likely to be a major political party's candidate for president is one facing multiple indictments who has said he wants to weaponize the justice system and who could be criminally convicted before the first ballots are even cast.
Well, here's the thing, though, about Trump and, like, his entire way of handling this situation, right? Like, you know how in, like, Norse mythology, there's that one time, like, Loki makes a bet for his head and loses, and he gets out of having to get his head chopped off by saying, well, actually, though, I didn't entitle you to any of my neck, so yeah, if you're gonna cut off my head, you better not take off any of my neck with it. So, and that's not possible, so, like, he didn't get his head chopped off. So basically, like, Trump does that type of like, Weasley shit to get out of, yeah, it's my Loki voice. He does that kind of Weasley shit to get out of trouble, you know, whenever he's done something wrong. And Trump's current method, his current strategy, is to argue that the sitting president cannot be criminally charged for anything. This is his strategy for getting around all of the crimes that he's committed while already in office. Then his current goal for the things he's being charged for now, because, you know, he's not in office, he can't make that claim about stuff he's being charged for now. He is now trying to argue that once he becomes president, he becomes immune again. And, you know, if he can delay all these court cases, if he can delay everything until he is president, presumably he thinks he can win, then, you know, he'll be immune, right? And his argument is that in order for any criminal charges to ever be leveraged towards the president, first, before a president can be charged with a crime and go to court and the evidence can be shown and they can be found guilty, before any of that can ever happen, first, the House has to almost unanimously vote to impeach the president. And then after that, the Senate has to almost unanimously vote to impeach the president, thus fully impeaching the president from office. And then, after all of that has been done, which has literally only been done, from what I can tell from chat, twice in the history of ever in America, only then, under Trump's opinion, under what Trump is claiming America should be doing, would he be able to be charged anything criminally, right? He's basically trying to say, nuh-uh, I'm actually immune to all crime in law. I'm, like, immune to it all when I was president and I did crime. And also, I'm going to become president again, and then I'm also going to be immune to it all again. And I can just veto my, like, not veto, I just pardon myself. I can just pardon myself, you know, I can just, nah. Yeah, he's like that one, he's the cheater kid when you play in the backyard who says, like, actually, no, you didn't tag me, nuh-uh. Actually, no, I was wearing imaginary super armor, so your, like, imaginary bullet didn't hit me there. Nuh-uh. No, I parried it. It actually hit you. Nuh-uh.
That's where we start this hour with the former top prosecutor at the Department of Justice, Andrew Weissman. He's back with us. Plus, the former congressman from Florida, David Jolly. With me at the table is the host of Fast Politics podcast and a special correspondent for Vanity Fair, Molly John Fast. And joining us from outside the courthouse, where court has ended for the day in the E. Jean Carroll trial, is MSNBC legal analyst Lisa Rubin. We're going to start with you, Lisa. This is the first day of this part of this trial. It was already a pretty active day starting this morning with jury selection. What has happened?
So, Ali, after the lunch break, which came fairly late, both parties delivered their opening statements. And if you listened to both of them, you would have thought we were talking about two entirely different cases, two entirely different universes. When you listen to E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, according to them, Donald Trump has all but destroyed her life. And that started in June of 2019 when he first called her a liar, denied that he had sexually assaulted her. And
for the record, the judges presiding over most of Trump's cases right now have been, and I've got segments going up about, or a segment going up about this already, if not will be going up. It's hard to tell, like, which videos will go up first when I'm, like, streaming them. Right? Like, I don't know when they're going to go up. But I've got a video going up that is going to be about Trump's case judges getting swatted and death threats, like multiple of them, like multiple of them multiple times each, right? That's a whole segment I've already done that will be going up. Like, I absolutely believe that Trump calling E. Jean Carroll a liar and just even talking about her in any negative way whatsoever led to life-ruining levels of harassment, death threats, and other forms of just awfulness her way. I completely believe that. I don't even think that's playing it up for the camera or for the media. I completely believe that, especially knowing what we've read about today with the other cases Trump is in.
Said that she was essentially a political operative or had other ulterior motives for accusing him of sexual assault, a fact that's no longer in dispute thanks to the jury verdict last May. And one of the things that kept being hammered over and over again by Sean Crowley, the lawyer for E. Jean Carroll, who delivered that statement, is that she wanted the jury to consider, when they are thinking about punitive damages, how much will it take to make it stop? Because as recently as this morning, Ms. Crowley noted, Donald Trump...
No amount of money will make it stop. It's about how much money, like, makes up for the pain and suffering, right? Isn't that, like, the legal term for it?
Had defamed her client again, no less than 22 times just today. But then Alina Habba got up for former President Trump, and in her version of events, E. Jean Carroll is a woman who is fame hungry, who has always wanted nothing more to be famous. And what her client did was unleash nothing but a few mean tweets. And should Donald Trump really be accountable for all of the mean tweets that E. Jean Carroll has endured? I should point out, Ali, to you and our viewers, some of those mean tweets go far beyond mean to threatening her life, suggesting she should commit suicide, and even threatening her with further rape. So you saw two very wholly different accounts of what happened here. But the thing that...
Yeah, I mean, the rights go to whenever, like, person tweets, like, horrific fucking thing, right? Someone says, hey, they tweeted this horrific thing. The rights response is, you're mad over a tweet? It's like, okay, the getting mad over a tweet thing is dumb when it's a joke, not when it's someone tweeting something that's just horrific to say, no matter what, and it's not a joke, such as rape threats. That's not a mean tweet. That's just a rape threat. It doesn't matter that it was in the form of a tweet. Like, yeah, so already the dismissal from the legal team of Trump, not surprising. Does Trump even have real lawyers? Who's legally representing Trump these days? Wasn't he having, like, a massively hard time finding legal representation?
That keeps sticking in my mind most of all is when Judge Lou Kaplan was instructing the jury about what facts were already given. He said, Mr. Trump sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll by forcibly inserting his fingers into her vagina, a statement I never thought would be said about the winner of either party's Iowa caucuses, Ali.
Yeah, that puts it in stark relief for us. Molly, you know E. Jean Carroll.
I feel like that's a good place to wrap things up here. Obviously, we don't know the results of what's gone down there today yet, as far as I can tell. Donald Trump scowls as jury has picked to decide how much he owes for denying sex. Oh, wait, do we have a result? Wait, hold on. Let me see. Let me scroll. Defamation trial. Victim card.
Shortly after winning the Iowa caucuses, former President Donald Trump will turn his focus to a second defamation trial in New York. Trump could owe more money to writer E. Jean Carroll. She accused Trump of raping her decades ago. Jury selection is now underway. Jurors will determine how much Trump owes.
Okay, yeah. So we still don't know. This is still like such fresh news. We don't know yet. I guess tomorrow's stream, maybe then we'll have word on how much Trump has been ordered to pay. Well, dang, guys. This is fresh off the presses. We're following this story. We're hot on its trail, guys. We're caught up. Damn, it's like being caught up on a TV show or something, you know? It's like I feel empty now. I feel like I've lost purpose. I need to, like, start binging a new TV show or something. Anyway, it's actually starting to become disorienting how many different cases Donald Trump is in right now that I have to follow and cover. That, like, I'm getting familiar with the different judges' names. Like I read their names when I'm reading an article. I'm like, hey, that name's familiar. Oh, that name's also familiar from that other case. Yeah, I know these people now. Yeah, it's almost like it kind of does feel like I'm following a reality show almost, which is maybe not the most healthy way to view the future of American democracy, but it is what it is.